I am here just as a book reader, and I will go ahead and just read the disclaimer just to make sure there's no and anything other taken out of this. The entire contents of this book are based upon research conducted by the author. Unless otherwise noted, the publisher, the author, the distributors, and bookstore present this information, myself included, for educational purposes only. This information is not intended to diagnose or prescribe for medical or psychological conditions, nor to claim to prevent, treat, mitigate, or cure such conditions. The author and the publisher are not making an attempt to recommend specific products as treatment of disease, and neither do they have any financial interest in the sale of the substances described in this book. And presenting this information, no attempt is being made to provide diagnosed care, treatment, or rehabilitation of individuals, or apply medical, mental health, or human development principles to provide diagnosing, treating, operating, or prescribing for any human disease, pain, injury, deformity, or physical condition. The information contained herein is not intended to replace a one-on-one relationship with a doctor or qualified healthcare professional. Therefore, the reader should be made aware that this information is not intended as medical advice, but rather a sharing of knowledge and information from the research and experience of the author. The publisher and the author encourage you to make your own healthcare decisions based upon your research and in partnership with a qualified healthcare professional. You, only you, are responsible if you choose to do anything based on what you read or what you hear. There. So, my story is that I am doing this. I am taking this hydrogen peroxide therapy, which is covered and mentioned in this book. The author went around at first talking about ozone and oxygen, and adding oxygen, and oxygen being really good for health. On the flip side, there's been some that say that, you know, oxygen does kill. It kills pathogens, but it could also kill other things too. So that would be the downfall of taking this therapy. But this has been proven, this has been used in Europe, this has been used by doctors here that have actually gotten in trouble for using it. So that's why it's not used very much here. But NIH has done research, and hyperbaric chambers have become something that is being used now, which is part of using oxygen and adding oxygen therapy, and that's using a hyperbaric chamber. We have one here in Melbourne over by the hospital, so if you ever wanted to use.
Laura, I have a question.
Yes.
My mom went to the hyperbaric chamber for healing. She was a diabetic, and she was, you know, having surgery, losing limbs. And how is the hyperbaric chamber and the hydrogen peroxide?
Well, they're using oxygen.
They're using oxygen.
So that's kind of what I want to start off. Actually, you know what I really wanted to start off with was a scripture that I kind of thought this morning was kind of appropriate, and it's and this is actually talking on scripture, okay? But others fell on good ground and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. And it's talking about the sower and the seed, and that seed being less than more. Like when you have more corruption, you have thorns and those kind of things. You weed out all of that, and so then the person that has good ground in their heart has less bitterness, less garbage. It's less, and so that kind of is what led me to hydrogen peroxide therapy, because I'm always looking for not less in nutrition, but more in nutrition. But rather than trying to collect a whole bunch of supplements and everything, I would rather find, like, Weston Price. Does everybody know who Weston Price was?
Yeah.
He was a dentist who, decades ago, studied people all over the world and found that people that were on native, traditional foods and lifestyle had normal jaw structures, a lot wider than our American jaw structure, normal bone structure, just a lot healthier than people who had denatured foods, processed foods, foods that nutrients have been taken out, foods that have been grown in soils that are depleted. So it's good to have healthy, whole foods that have not been depleted, right? Have full abundance. And that's the way God gave us. So when I'm looking at different treatments, and I kind of use myself as a guinea pig for my parents, just trying to figure out something that could help my mom specifically. And oxygen therapy is something that has worked. And during the pandemic, a whole bunch of us went out and bought these. Let's put this in the, so you can see it. And Dr. Brownstein and Dr. Mercola recommended using a little bit of hydrogen peroxide in a food grade. So this is what we all went out and bought because we didn't know anything. Hadn't discovered the book yet. That's 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide therapy, or hydrogen peroxide. And this is a nebulizer, so we would inhale with hydrogen peroxide and saline and just clear out our lungs and everything and just be strong, able to breathe. You know, the theory back then was to cover the airway, but we all know that you're supposed to open your airway, breathe, and circulation. I mean, it's been known for decades too. So this really helped a lot, and that was my introduction to food grade hydrogen peroxide. So, and I had already been using before that time these three products. So, hydrogen peroxide, this I never ingested. This was totally just for cleaning wounds and things, healing. And this is a mouthwash. The Heritage Store is a very old herbal company that I tend to buy. I trust it. I trust that company. And I had a really hard time with chlorine bleach at one time because I was teaching swim lessons all over the county and water aerobics and 24/7. And then I had a professional come over and check my water because I was struggling a little bit, and I had my drinking water was 3 parts per million chlorine, which is exactly the same as what's in the swimming pool. Oh, wow. But that was what our public water said is safe. So I had switched to hydrogen peroxide based bleach. So that's what I used. So those were the 3 things that I just happened to use and be familiar with before I discovered this book. So in this book, why I use the scripture about less is more, you have to have a full nutrition. There's a whole bunch of different cures coming out right now that are real basic, that, you know, like you take all of these different supplements, and everything was just requiring so much. Like, can you take enough supplements and supplement and all that kind of stuff? So I was like, you know, what is something that's really natural to our bodies? Did you know that your body makes hydrogen peroxide? Your body actually has hydrogen peroxide in it. It makes it. It forms it. Did you know that rainwater has hydrogen peroxide in it? The smell after the rain. Breast milk has a really high amount of hydrogen peroxide. So it's something that's already natural inside of us. Now, I will tell you that after I started this therapy and got all the way up to the top level, then you're supposed to take it incrementally by a very small, minute amount with distilled water. And then you work yourself up for 23 days up to having a full amount, and then it's supposed to be the cure. The idea is it's the cure for anything and everything. Now, I didn't have anything and everything. I wasn't trying to cure something. I just, let's try this. Now, I will tell you that, okay, let me backtrack. So I took the therapy up to the higher level, and then it suggests, in the book, it suggests to go down. So start not taking as much, little by little. And then you find a homeostasis. And I was like, what do you mean? How do you find a homeostasis? I feel great. Why not just take what I'm taking? If it's not hurting me, why can it hurt me? And then I started looking for, is it possible that what I'm taking at this higher level could hurt me? So it's hard to find that information when it's all being suppressed. So I was doing that, and somebody said that, well, the problem is oxidative stress. And I was like, And I found out that in your eye, you have a perfect balance of hydrogen peroxide that your body makes. And I was like, oh, well, what if I threw that out of whack? I am really trying to see better. I would like to not have to use these glasses, you know what I mean? So I think I'll stop. And I stopped like cold turkey, which that's dumb anyway, but I was just like, wow, I didn't realize that I used to have headaches. Just, even if they were minor, just that feeling like, or fog, or just things that I just realized they had gone away, and now they were back, so it's like, I think I'm going to slowly, I'll go back on, and I was off of it for half a day, so I was like, this isn't fun, just in an immediate, so then it's like, well, is my body addictive, is it addictive to it, that kind of thing. So I started just really going through the book. Okay, I was studying the book now. I just researched it, and I wish that I could tell you that I'm like such a good learner that I can just spew off everything that's in blue, but I can't. I just would encourage you, if you have interest, to do your own research and see for yourself what you think. But there's a few things that I thought before, I'm just going to kind of go into questions kind of right away, except for, let me go ahead and introduce my props, okay? So what I do, personally, in the morning, so I started off using a dropper, and you all got a nice little paper. There is, right in the book, everything's in the book. There's a chart. It's got 23 days, all the way down to 23, and and so the book recommends this: 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide. This is something that you have to use gloves to open and use. This is not something that you would put into your body like this. You do not want anybody to accidentally put this out of your refrigerator. This is serious stuff. But the book recommends this because they are concerned with whatever somebody would perceive as acceptable. Do you know that there's other ingredients usually in products that you get that aren't listed? Generally, like when you get a vitamin, you realize there are usually a few other ingredients that aren't listed. That's this author's point, is that there's some other ingredients probably in these, even though it says free of toxic stabilizers and additives. Okay? So the idea of this author is, she says 3% pharmaceutical grade. This is the hydrogen peroxide that's available at your local drugstore. It is for external use only and is not to be ingested. She's talking about this. But now on Amazon you can buy 3% food grade.
At the Jungle Organic in Indialantic, they sell it too.
They sell this, right?
They sell
the 3%
and
too?
they sell the 12%.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I'll tell you why that's good to know. So I started this a couple months ago, and to look for this, you actually had to pay a hazardous fee to purchase, which was extra, and you had to buy, you could buy it in this size container, but you had to buy enough to make so much, like I think a gallon at least, minimum, which it cost more than buying more, you know, like it, so it had bulk
It
prices.
wasn't economical.
It was not economical, and it seemed very like the hazardous fee. I mean, it seemed like a whole hassle. So this is what I was able to purchase again, and this I finally was able to get a hold of, which this one is 12%. But I want to just read to you, just to keep everything kosher. So this one says, warning, do not use in the eyes or apply over large areas of the body. Keep out of reach of children. Do not swallow. In case of ingestion, get medical help or contact Poison Control Center right away.
And that's the food grade one?
That's the food grade. Technically, food grade is used for kitchens, and they're telling you to use it for a cleaning product, right? So, and then this author, like I was saying, that the 6% is beautician grade, and she just doesn't trust the possible stabilizers. But I also want to let you know that this book was written in, the copyright date is 2008 by Thinking Outside the Book Publishing Incorporated. So this has some years on it, and I did want to read to you. So what she says, we are still a long way from hydrogen peroxide therapy being recognized as the cure-all. It truly is. And in the meantime, the pharmaceutical and medical industries will continue to get rich while people die from ineffective and dangerous treatment options. Don't believe the negative hype you are bound to hear about hydrogen peroxide therapy in the coming years. You will learn the truth from your own experience with hydrogen peroxide therapy, and you will be one of the enlightened few who will help share this treatment method with the world. As mentioned in previous chapters, an estimated 15,000 European doctors, this is at 2008, naturopaths and homeopaths have been legally using biooxidative therapy in their practice, but the number of doctors using these therapies in North America is estimated at less than 500. And this is because it's deliberately excluded from curriculum of medical schools. Our current medical education puts heavy emphasis instead on drug-based therapies. Additionally, medical boards prevent doctors from using ozone and hydrogen peroxide in their medical practice. Now we know some doctors are suggesting hyperbaric chambers and other forms of ozone.
I was recommended
Yeah.
because I have arm issues.
So that's part of what this is. Like, it might not be actual hydrogen peroxide.
And different vitamin infusion centers are using ozone therapy.
Ozone therapy, ozone water, ozone different.
Tablets.
Yeah. So this is thankfully coming into vogue a little bit. Some doctors, including the late Dr. Robert Atkins, the physician noted for the Atkins nutritional approach and author of 17 nutrition-based books, has been threatened with revocation of their medical licenses if they administer ozone or hydrogen peroxide. Many clinics that offer the therapy have been shut down in the past, and health practitioners have been imprisoned or threatened with jail time for the same reason. Even doctors who simply make a public statement regarding the benefits of hydrogen peroxide without actually administering it to their patients have been ridiculed into silence. In the case of the renowned cardiac surgeon, Dr. Christian Barnard, you guys may have heard of him, yeah, okay. Yeah, who was impressed by the effectiveness and was himself a daily user of hydrogen peroxide, in see chapter 13. He was shut down for that, but he kept speaking out because he believed in it. And
Whatever happened to the do no harm?
whatever happened to the really critically thinking and processing? And it's really become know completely why. I mean, obviously there's, it's money and greed mostly,
Yeah.
but, let's see. I don't know completely why though, because there's something more than just that. The greed definitely plays a role, a huge role. But there's, I think, which you could count this, I guess, on love of money, but still, somebody risking losing their livelihood is real. And so by staying with the protocols that are covered by this gargantuan medical system and laws and legal things, because I do personally know some people who have gone through court cases and won, yet they've lost everything. They might have won the bottom line, but they lost everything. And it was for a good purpose because it was for us, but now you can also close cases, and the people that I personally know, their cases have been closed. That means that someone else can't use and build on their case. So it's almost like it was for nothing. But on page 43, it says, so since the 1950s to the present, hyperbaric oxygen therapy has helped heal and restore function for people with various neurological disorders and injuries. A partial list: Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, diabetes, stroke, multiple sclerosis, Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, brain injury, learning disabilities, cerebral palsy, chronic fatigue syndrome, autism. So oxygen comprises 62 to 71% of the body and is the body's most abundant and essential element. 90% of all our biological energy comes from oxygen. And so I want to kind of oxidative stress. I just want to kind of address that. Stress is something that we need to learn to manage, and we really need it. I mean, we really need to take advantage of the outdoors. We need to, get barefoot, take in sunlight. We need to do all of these, get a lot of sleep. We're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep. If you're not getting 8 hours of sleep, just try laying in bed for 8 hours. It's just, we need to offer that. Oxidative stress is obviously the oxygen that they're addressing to say that this possibly could harm. And in your body, hydrogen peroxide helps your body regulate and helps it. So oxidative stress, though, oxidation does kill off like microbes and all kinds of things. But in your body, with the hydrogen peroxide your own body produces, it actually gets rid of the bad things and it keeps the good things going and moving. So I really just encourage everybody to read this, and I will tell you exactly what I do now. So I do 3 times a day. I take distilled water, and now I'm taking this, and did you want me to pause, Jeannie?
Okay. Is it still live?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Can you present that big gallon again? You said you were taking this. I'm not sure what that is.
this is the 12%.
Okay.
We need to fix it.
What?
Okay.
It is Epic Medical Supply. Honestly, I looked for the Made in USA.
Okay.
Yeah. This one, US, and it's got a Made in USA too, 3%.
So, but it's hydrogen peroxide. Is it going to convert to oxygen within the body?
No, it stays hydrogen peroxide, because that's what's in your body.
Okay.
but it is the extra oxygen molecule that is providing the healing.
Okay.
So like in this, you guys have your little paper. So I started off with 3%, taking 24 drops. Well, that was a lot of drops. So I got 3 of this, so that, and I have a page, and Jeannie will get it for you later, to, like I went all the way up to taking like this much. And I would pour this into here and take it out of here and squirt it into a glass, and then take 6 ounces, you can take 6 to 8 ounces of distilled water in a glass with your hydrogen peroxide. And I would take it 3 times a day. I would wait, before I would take it, I would have had to have fasted at least 3 hours. So right when you wake up, and then after you take it, you have to wait an hour before you put food in for it to have its best, to work the best.
And you do that 3 times a day?
Yeah, it was very hard at first. Now I am regulated and it's not hard. There are days that it's harder than other days. You know, I had an emergency happen yesterday, which kind of took me longer and so I skipped it.
Skip the fasting or skipped the
Skip the hydrogen
dose?
peroxide. And I have since gotten home late now and started eating before a whole hour. It hasn't affected me. I've read, okay, so there is on Facebook a group called Hydrogen Peroxide Therapy. Is that the name of the group?
I think so.
It's just like any group. There's a lot of people in the group. But you can kind of weed through. I find that there's this one lady that is really excellent, Pam King, I think is her name. She has provided so much great
Is it
information.
one of those?
But the other people that seem to be really good are these just men that will pipe up every once in a while. Just like you'll post something, they hardly say anything, but they'll say things like, I've been doing this for 10 years, it's awesome, I've never been sick since, you know, or I've been doing it for 20 years. I mean, I love those little things because there are people out there who are just quietly doing this and are just really taking care of a lot of bigger problems and nobody wants to say anything because they don't want to be targeted. So I'm bringing mine down right now. So I'm taking like 1 milliliter of this now, you know, and just a little bit more than 1 milliliter. I'll be down to 1 milliliter probably tomorrow or the next day. So
Are you going to stop it totally at all?
no,
No.
it just works so well for me that I don't see any reason. I mean, okay, I gave up sugar and flour like 10 years ago, and yeah, and I was amazed that, I mean, I didn't have any arthritis or any, you know, pains, but I guess I had pains that I didn't even know I had, because once I started not having any sugar at all, I just felt like just very limber and healthy, and so, but now this has done an extra, because I guess my body, my personal body follows just a hormonal schedule, and so my dealing with these, what I call headaches, but it's not always like it's just more of a stress ache, and it's just my body saying, slow down, this is the time to rest and everything, but it's really nice to not even feel that.
So what are some of the other tangibles that you have noticed?
That was a big one.
The headaches are gone.
The headaches are completely gone, the monthly. I think my skin, hair, and nails look much better. It feels like, I just can feel my hair, it feels like it's gaining back to its weight when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I really want that exactly, but it just gives a good, I just feel like my skin looks brighter. my nails definitely are stronger. I do, when I have like extra in here, instead of dumping it, I don't want to dump it back in I dump it in this little spray bottle. And for a while, like I had a little spot up here, it's a little red, it's still there. I was spraying just my face or spraying, and a lot of people on the site, they, when you add this, it starts to burn. So you need it more at 3%, which you can put a little distilled water in here. But anyway, I was doing that, and I noticed that I bleached my eyebrows a little bit. So I was like, well, I'll just wipe it on. But this is great. Like I spray it. I put some hydrogen peroxide the other day in my mom's foot soak. I soaked her feet with, and it definitely helped her that day. I mean, it was an immediate, it wasn't like, oh, it's solved a problem for.
Is it important to be sure and only be having it down to a 3% level, or is there any kind of side effects if you have 12% on your skin, or?
Oh yeah, the 12% on your skin turns your skin white, and you can feel it. It's a little tingly or kind of hurts.
And so when diluting, you said always be sure and wear gloves?
I don't really wear gloves with this because it's not that big a deal, and I don't get that much. It's just has sprinkled. But with this, I only read it. This is the first time I've touched this bottle. Today is today. Jeannie just got this. So I have read enough that this is 35%, and people keep it in their freezer, not the refrigerator. And generally, most of the people that I've seen online talking about it put it in a glass bottle to the 3% dilution. Okay, so they got in their refrigerator a bottle of 3% that they've made themselves. That way, unlike what I don't know, is what other things are put in here. I trust what they say, and okay, so the book makes a really big deal, and I showed you that I've like really glued it. The book makes a really big deal to only use this because they don't trust what might be in this, even though it says that it's safe. And that's the same as I have a friend that wouldn't use this. She has a distiller, and she's encouraged me to use her distiller. I finally came to the conclusion that I just need to get out of the weeds and just try it. I could maybe, I've read enough about distilled water. I mean, I told Jeannie, when we were doing this, I got my own distilled water that I distilled out of my, what is it? The room evaporator, what's that called?
Dehumidifier?
Dehumidifier. And so I just, I got all the particles that you could see out. So I actually had that, thinking that was safer than something in someone else's plastic jug that has rode everywhere and been on. You can really this is the most processed stuff that I've used for a long time,
So what about purified water you buy at Walmart?
You can't use, it recommends distilled.
Distilled, not pure.
Only distilled. It even recommends on your fast that includes not taking supplements, drinking coffee. I mean, just.
If you drink water, does that water need to be distilled?
No,
Okay.
no. But when you drink it for the
Yes.
one time, but yeah, you can drink water.
Okay.
So while you're doing this, you're taking no supplements?
No supplements.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I take supplements when I eat. My only supplement I'm taking right now is a powder and cod liver oil at this present time. But you could take your supplements with your meal, or you could take your medicines with your meal, or or if your medicines aren't supposed to be taken with a meal in that time period, you can take everything. It's just that you're not supposed to, in the 3 hour, 1 hour time period, you're not supposed to have anything else.
So do you still use any DMSO or cod liver, or not cod, what is it, the oil that we use?
Castor oil?
Castor oil. Do you use that topically anymore?
I still have it. I honestly haven't needed it for a bit of time, but I like those products.
People have some questions?
So how long have you been on this
About a couple
routine?
months.
When did you start seeing a difference?
When I stopped using it. I think I started seeing a difference in the hair, skin, and nails right away. Yeah.
Does it help with energy?
Yes.
I'm tired all the time.
Oh yeah. It definitely helps with that. Yeah. 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 Yes and no. I will have to say that there is, for me, I've been on a journey to learn how to sleep 8 hours. So, so 2023 was when I saw Barbara O'Neill. I went up and took her whole week-long thing, and I mean, I got that 8-hour information, and then I just kind of ran it by my chiropractor. And he says, "Oh, you know, everybody needs, like, sometimes different people different. Well, how much sleep do you get?" And I was like, "Oh, 4 hours nightly." He's just like, "You need more than 4 hours. You just need 4 more." So when I started really working on getting more sleep, I did not get less tired. In fact, I was probably, my body had become an adrenaline junkie, and that's how I lived. And then when you live on adrenaline, you are just moving on adrenaline. So when you have to shift to living on sleep and getting the right amount of sleep, your body has to learn to recognize its signs, and you need more rest. So I have to, so it's, when I say yes and no, I, starting this, have felt that there's more energy available to me during the periods of time. Like, I don't sit down and fall asleep when I'm reading in the afternoon anymore. But at the same time, my body, it just is like the hydrogen peroxide helps tell me that I just need to stay, I need rest. And I'm just learning to shift my body into recognizing that there's a good rest and there's a bad rest. So, does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions?
So everyone needs to buy the 1 Minute Cure book?
Yes, I would really highly, highly recommend it.
Can you find it on used book sites or?
I got mine from thrift books. You might have it.
I wish you could read it.
I understand. It's just got so much really good information. I didn't even read to you guys some of the things that I had marked.
So would this even override the different cures, like the Joe Tippins protocol for cancer and things like that, or would those protocols still be needed in extreme health?
I would not be able to answer that question, other than I would, again, you know, the reason I chose to look into this is because it's natural to our bodies, the way God created us, and so it just makes sense. Especially when I found out there's hydrogen peroxide in all of these other rainwater, breast milk, you know, in our body.
But has more properties.
What?
The hydrogen has more properties. They're using in cars, in gasoline emissions, cleaning teeth. It's a lot of information.
We can use it for everything, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
ear,
Yeah,
the wax,
yeah.
ear,
Well, that's
ear,
why I
earwax.
had introduced these things at the beginning. I had just introduced these items.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think she came in a little late.
Yeah, and so, like she mentioned, there are people that will take 3% and put it into their children's ear, just pour it in their ear, and an earache is gone.
Mm, yep.
People will spray it in their mouth, and take care of any asthmatic conditions. Lungs, well, that's what this is. This is mouthwash. This is mouthwash. This is mouthwash.
Oh.
Yeah.
And to clean, the grout. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what this is really bought for by a lot of people.
For
Is
mouthwash?
for cleaning the
Cleaning
grout
the
out of
grout.
cleaning your everything.
Disinfectant.
I mean, how many products do you guys buy for all of these uses? And how much did this cost, Jamie?
$29, I think it was.
This will last a long time.
Yeah, when you dilute it down,
To the-
11 parts of that to, no, 1 part of that to 11 parts of water
For this.
to get down to 3%. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you look on the back of your paper, I put that on there.
So, like these guys that have said that they've done this for years, they actually just go ahead and use this. They don't dilute it, some of them, and they'll just take a drop and put in their distilled water at least twice a day, and that's why it's called the 1 minute cure. I mean, it doesn't take more than a minute. That doesn't even take a minute. It takes 5 seconds.
And that's, when they do that, that's even with the fasting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know how much somebody fasts that's been doing that for decades. I should ask one of them, because one of the things the book says is that you could get nauseous if you eat during, but when like I've said, when I've just taken it and then I wait and it's like, oh, it's 20 minutes and I'm gonna have to wait until 8 o'clock before I'm gonna eat. No, I'm just gonna eat, and I haven't had any problems. And probably it's just not as effective, but I'm not dealing with cancer, I'm not dealing with MS, I'm not dealing with any big deal, so it's not a big deal. As long as I'm not feeling bad, I figure it's okay. Again, this is just my information, this isn't me trying to push this at all, so. Any other questions?
Have you heard of what to look for if you are coming out of homeostasis, if you're taking too much? Are there certain minerals or metabolisms that come out of balance, and what to look for?
I have looked for that because I really wanted to know after I really wanted to know that more than anything, but I have not found anything. I mean, the thing that I can just say from the medical experts is that they always push this, oh, you're just going to cause oxidative stress. What does that look like? I mean, how would I know, when I'm feeling so good? I would love to know. But I will tell you that there's a lot of people that are living with conditions that they think that they're doing everything right, and I would really recommend that they don't eat any more sugar or flour. And they would really experience some freedom of health. It's just wonderful to be healthy. It feels great. I mean, I love it. We have one person here that also does this, and she can tell you too. Yeah.
It's harder for my friends when I'm with my friends and eating than it is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not go back.
I will never go back.
Yeah.
And I've done tastes and licks, and I'm not sure that I won't ever do that again. But even then, generally, it's not helpful. That taste never tastes as good as it used to. And my grandkids, they were like, Annie, why don't you eat? Like, I can cut them. I generally just don't have it in the house or anything, but birthdays and stuff, I can cut them and give them a nice generous helping, and I don't eat it.
So for you, does that look like no honey, no maple syrup, all of that, or is it just sugar?
like I have some honey with papaya seeds right now, and I took that a couple days ago. Again, I was experimenting with it anyway, and then I fed it to my mom and she liked it. I will take it that way, but I don't do even honey. I don't need any sweet. I eat fruit, and it's delicious. I was not a big fruit eater before, and everything,
When you don't have sugar in your system, fruit is very sweet.
it's very good. It just tastes wonderful. I mean, right now is yellow kiwi, and it tastes to me just like key lime pie. I mean, it's just as good as key lime pie used to be. It's just.
I found if I haven't been having bakery items and just have been eating fruit, and then if I go and think, oh, well, that looks really good, and I'll try a bakery item, it's like, it's disappointing,
Yes.
very disappointing. The
Yes.
fruit is much more enjoyable.
Excuse me, I'm interested about the ears, so I want just is it salt wax or no? Just I want to clean my ear, okay?
Mhm.
And it's salt wax or no? Do you know?
Solving the wax is what you're saying,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Oh,
I believe that hydrogen peroxide is one of the remedy. One of my daughters had chronic ear infections, and hydrogen peroxide into the ear is one of the ways that the doctor recommended to break up the wax.
Oh, there you go.
good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and that's a regular
Regular
mainline, mainstream doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
this, oh, good, thank you.
And that bottle isn't just a hydrogen peroxide, right? That's the mouthwash?
That's a mouthwash.
And that's a good brand?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take photos of that.
Yes, that Heritage is where I buy my castor oil too.
Okay, where is
Organic
that?
castor oil.
Heritage.
I buy it from Vitacost.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's
okay.
just,
Okay,
it's,
I've got some stuff from there.
I
Yeah.
think you want the pound bottle for the ear.
for the ear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for the ear, you probably
Oh,
want
for ears.
this. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want this or this? I would probably just
Okay.
get this.
Thank you.
Is there anything in that book about tinnitus?
It pretty much says everything can be cured from it.
Okay.
Lord knows.
And there is,
That's why I can't see.
I do know there is something about tinnitus in there, because I remember reading about it.
Mhm.
But,
Yep.
I mean, this book thinks that every single thing can be cured here.
Does it help cure
Says that.
cuts or whatever?
So on that, the medical system says not to use hydrogen peroxide.
Well, I mean, from the inside out, not the outside in.
Yeah. Well, I was even I did want to address that just because,
'Cause I have
when you
super
have
thin
an
skin.
open wound, it still you can use like hydrogen peroxide
Right.
on paper cuts and things
Right.
like that. It's just that when you have a very open,
Deep.
deep wound,
I'm just talking surface
I would do
stuff.
internal, I think internal myself. that
I
would
mean,
be
I
my
use it on the
personal-
outside, but does it help heal things quicker when you're doing this?
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
Because I was reading about that, and it takes longer to heal if you use the peroxide.
Well, I get that they don't want you to use
That product, but they say that, what I was reading is that soap and water is as effective as that and doesn't affect
Well,
the skin.
if you wanna go, like, just my opinion, lavender, pure, really high grade lavender essential oil does more than anything on an real open wound. It'll stop the bleeding,
It stops the pain.
it stops the pain, and it heals.
Relax.
And if it's like really deep,
No, I have super thin skin and I bump and
yeah.
and then it takes forever to heal. That's not,
Well, I
not
would think that would
deep,
be
not
more,
deep.
I would think that would be more of internally, your body would start getting
That's
stronger.
what the question was, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if I do this,
that would be my opinion, that's not I'm not a medical doctor or
right,
anything, so I
no,
just really,
yeah.
especially since Jeannie likes to put these out in public.
That way everyone can learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is nice for everybody to learn. I just wouldn't want anything to,
Come back at you.
yeah. You have any questions?
No, I was just thinking, you're not a doctor and you don't act
I don't act
as
like
a
a
doctor
doctor.
either.
We're not being paid.
This is not a paid advertisement.
Yeah.
She doesn't get any money for doing this for us. It's just out of the goodness of her heart.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it.
Thank you for the presentation.
Yeah.